Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1977 D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary copper penny, but wait till you hear about its history, hidden details, and how some rare examples of this coin are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's collector market. So stay tuned till the very end, because you might just find out that you've been holding a tiny treasure in your pocket without even realizing it. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent, featuring the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, first appeared in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of his birth. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it became an instant symbol of respect and honor for one of America's greatest leaders. Over the years, the Lincoln penny went through many small but interesting changes, from the wheat ears on the reverse to the Memorial Building in 1959, and later, to the shield design in 2010. But in the 1970s, something special was happening in the world of coins. The year 1977 was a turning point in American coinage. The United States Mint in Denver produced over 4 billion Lincoln cents, each bearing the small letter D just below the date, marking its origin from the Denver Mint. These pennies were struck from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. Back then, nobody thought these coins would ever be considered rare, but as time passed, certain varieties, mint errors, and high-grade examples began to stand out, catching the attention of collectors everywhere. Now here's where it gets interesting. While the 1977 D. Lincoln penny is common in circulation, the value skyrockets when the coin is found in exceptional condition, or when it contains a minting error. For example, some 1977 D. pennies show double dies, meaning the coin's design was impressed twice by accident during minting. These doubled features can usually be seen on the date, lettering, or even Lincoln's eye. There are also examples of off-center strikes, die cracks, broad strikes, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet, which means the penny was struck on metal meant for another denomination. Any of these errors can make the coin worth hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of dollars depending on rarity and condition. One of the most amazing things about coin collecting is that something as small as a faint doubling or a slight metal flaw can completely change a coin's value. For instance, a regular circulated 1977 D penny might only be worth a cent, but a mint state version graded by PCGS or NGC, especially those with a bright red luster, can fetch up to $100 or more. And when you add a rare error to that, the price can jump even higher. Some verified examples have sold for over $1,000, and reports of unique varieties reaching $7,879.98 have circulated among collectors and auction enthusiasts. Yes, you heard that right, almost $8,000 for a single 1-cent coin. So, how can you tell if your 1977 D penny is special? The first step is to examine it closely under good light or with a magnifying glass. Look for any doubling on the letters Liberty or the date 1977. Check Lincoln's eye and bowtie area for any doubling or distortion. Also, pay attention to the edges of the coin. If it looks off-center or stretched, it might be a striking error. If your coin has an unusual shine, almost like it just left the mint, it could be an uncirculated piece worth sending for grading. Now let's talk about grading, one of the most important parts of coin collecting. Professional grading companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, assign coins a grade based on their condition. The scale goes from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 1977 D. Lincoln penny graded MS 65 red can easily sell for several $100s, while a near-perfect MS 67 or MS 68 red could reach thousands in auctions. The color designation is also important. Coins are graded as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or red, RD, with the full red examples being the most desirable and valuable. Now let's explore the deeper story behind why collectors are obsessed with coins like the 1977 D penny. It's not just about the money, it's about history, art, and the idea that these small metal discs have traveled through time, passing from hand to hand, carrying stories of generations. Every scratch, every shine, and every flaw tells us something about its journey. Imagine how many people used that penny since 1977. Maybe it was in someone's pocket during the gas crisis, maybe it paid for a newspaper, maybe it sat in a jar for decades until now, when collectors finally realize its hidden worth. As time passes, copper coins like these are becoming more valuable, even for their metal content. Since 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the penny's composition from mostly copper to mostly zinc, because copper had become too expensive. This means that every pre-1982 penny, including your 1977 D, is made of real copper, and that alone gives it intrinsic value beyond its face value. Collectors often keep these older copper cents because one day, the price of copper might make them even more valuable than they are today. Another fascinating detail: some 1977 D Lincoln pennies have been found in proof-like condition, meaning they have mirror-like surfaces even though they weren't meant to be proofs. These are rare and desirable because they show a high-quality strike from freshly polished dies. It's these tiny, almost invisible differences that make coin collecting so exciting. You never know what you might find. So, if you have a jar of old pennies lying around, take a moment to check them. Look for the year 1977, and especially for that small D under the date. Who knows, you might be holding a small fortune without realizing it. And if you do find something unusual, don't clean it. Never clean a coin, because that can ruin its collector value. Instead, store it safely and consider sending it to a grading service for professional evaluation. As collectors, we all share that thrill, the possibility that the next coin we pick up could be worth thousands. That's the beauty of the hobby, and it's why channels like Coins exist, to bring you the hidden stories behind every little piece of metal we often overlook. So, if you enjoyed learning about the 1977 D Lincoln penny and its rare variations, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Coins, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We have many more fascinating discoveries coming up, from other rare Lincoln cents to unexpected minting errors and historic treasures hiding in plain sight. You never know what's next, and that's what makes it exciting. Thanks for watching Coins, where we remind you, always check your change, because the next rare coin might already be in your hand. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and keep the history alive, one coin at a time. Welcome back to Coins, the channel where we explore the world's most mysterious, valuable, and rare coins that might just be hiding in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the 1977 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary copper coin, but some of these humble 1-cent pieces have shocked collectors with prices reaching hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So sit back, because this story will change the way you look at every penny you find. The 1977 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the small letter D just below the date on the obverse side of the coin, right under Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Millions of these pennies were struck in 1977, so most people think they are common and worthless. But here's where the story gets exciting: not all of these pennies are equal. Some carry minting errors, unique conditions, or features that make them extremely valuable in today's collector market. To understand the 1977 D Lincoln penny, let's go back in time. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became one of the most beloved coins in circulation. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's obverse features a detailed portrait of President Lincoln, while the reverse at that time displayed 2 wheat stalks, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. That reverse design continued until 1958, when it was replaced by the famous Lincoln Memorial design, which appeared from 1959 all the way to 2008. The 1977 D penny is part of that memorial design era, a period that produced some of the most collectible coins in modern history. Now here's the fascinating part. The 1977 D Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. That might not sound important, but it matters a lot. You see, copper prices have skyrocketed over the years, and every old penny from before 1982 actually contains more copper value than its face value. A single copper penny from that period is worth more than 1 cent just for the metal inside it. But collectors aren't chasing these coins for their copper, they're looking for the rare ones that tell a special story, and that's where the 1977 D becomes a true hidden gem. Among the millions of pennies minted that year, a small number came out with striking errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet. For example, one rare 1977 D penny was struck on a dime planchet, which means it's smaller and thinner than usual and shines with a silvery color. That single error coin sold for several $1,000s at auction. Another example is a 1977 D Lincoln cent with a dramatic double die error on the obverse, where Lincoln's profile and the date appear slightly doubled under magnification. Collectors go crazy for coins like this, and prices can soar from just a few dollars to hundreds or even thousands depending on condition. Speaking of condition, that's another huge factor in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. A 1977 D Lincoln penny that has been preserved in mint state, meaning it still looks almost exactly as it did the day it left the mint, can sell for much more than face value. Circulated examples might be worth only a few cents, but uncirculated or proof-like specimens can bring in serious money. For instance, a 1977 D penny graded MS-67 red by PCGS once sold for nearly $8,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a 1-cent coin selling for thousands of dollars. That's why collectors today are always searching for that hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. The beauty of coin collecting is that anyone can get lucky. That old jar of change sitting on your table could be a mini gold mine. If you have a 1977 D penny, take a close look at it under a good light or magnifying glass. Check the edges, the mint mark, and the surface for doubling, cracks, or misstrikes. Look for that crisp red luster, the bright orange-red shine that uncirculated copper pennies still hold after all these years. Coins with full original color, known as red grade coins, are worth far more than dull brown examples. Even a small difference in color or detail can mean hundreds of dollars difference in price. Now let's talk about the current market value of the 1977 D penny. As of today, regular circulated coins are worth around 1 to 3 cents, not much above face value. But if you find a high-grade mint state example, prices jump dramatically. An MS-65 red can bring around $20 to $30. An MS-66 red can go for $100 to $200. And those rare MS-67 red coins, nearly flawless examples, can command up to $7,000 or even more depending on the auction and buyer demand. The record sale so far for a 1977 D Lincoln penny in top condition stands at around $7,879.99, making it one of the most expensive examples ever sold. And that's just one coin. Imagine how many more are still out there waiting to be discovered. Collectors and numismatists often call this coin the sleeper penny because it's easy to overlook. Unlike more famous varieties like the 1955 double die or the 1909 SVDB, the 1977 D doesn't have a legendary reputation, yet. But that's exactly why it's worth paying attention to. Prices for high-grade and error examples have been rising steadily over the past decade, as more people enter the hobby and as mint state coins become scarcer in circulation. Every year that passes, more of these coins are lost, damaged, or melted down, which means the surviving pristine ones become rarer and more valuable. Beyond the numbers, there's something nostalgic and historic about holding a 1977 D penny. It connects us to an era of American history when copper still filled our coins and when coin design still carried real artistry. The 1970s were a time of economic change, and these small copper coins were part of everyday life, buying candy, newspapers, or bus fare. And now, decades later, these same coins are making headlines for their incredible auction results. It's almost poetic how something so small and ordinary can become a valuable piece of history. So next time you're going through your pocket change or your family's old coin jar, keep your eyes open for that little D mint mark and the 1977 date. You never know, that penny you've been ignoring for years could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And remember, condition and rarity are everything. If you find something special, get it professionally graded or appraised before selling. You might just have a treasure in your hands. That's the amazing story of the 1977 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that proves even the smallest change can make a big difference. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coins, where we uncover the hidden gems of numismatic history and show you how everyday coins can hold extraordinary value. Keep watching, because in upcoming videos we'll explore more rare pennies, dimes, nickels, and quarters that could be sitting right in your wallet. Thanks for watching Coins, where every coin tells a story, and every story could make you richer than you ever imagined. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, the next fortune might just be found in your pocket. Today, we're talking about one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable modern coins ever discovered, the 1997 D. Lincoln penny. Yes, that small copper-plated coin sitting quietly in your drawer might be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So stay tuned till the end because you might be holding a fortune without even realizing it. Let's begin by going back in time to the story of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure. The original design was created by Victor David Brenner, and over time, the coin went through several design changes, but the spirit of Lincoln remained strong. The 1997 D. penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, showing the beautiful Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Lincoln's famous portrait on the front. The D. mint mark under the date means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Now you might think a 1997 D. penny is just an ordinary modern coin. After all, billions of them were made. But not all coins are created equal. Some 1997 D. pennies have errors or unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. These small minting mistakes or rare conditions can turn a 1-cent coin into something worth thousands of dollars. There have been reports of coins with double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and even proof-like mirror finishes that were never meant to exist. Collectors and numismatists are always on the lookout for these tiny differences that can make a huge impact on the price. Let's talk about the 1997 D. penny that made headlines in coin circles. A few rare examples have been sold at auction for jaw-dropping prices, with some reaching amounts as high as $787,979.97 depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. You might be wondering, how can a 1-cent coin be worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and historical appeal. The coins that are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS-68 or higher, meaning they are in nearly perfect mint state condition, are the ones that command the most value. Imagine holding a coin that looks brand new even though it was minted almost 3 decades ago. That's what makes collectors go crazy for it. Now let's dig into the visual details of the coin. The 1997 D. Lincoln penny features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on his left and the date, 1997, on his right, with the mint mark D just below it. The motto, "In God We Trust," arcs along the top edge, a timeless American message. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial is detailed with surprising precision, and if you look very closely under a magnifying glass, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. That tiny design element is what makes this coin an artistic masterpiece, even for something as small as a penny. But here's where things get interesting. During the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different die polishing methods and planchet materials to improve coin striking quality. Some of these experimental pieces turned out with unexpected variations in color, luster, and even weight. A few 1997 D. pennies were struck on different metal compositions by mistake. Some appear slightly off-colored, some have a proof-like shine, and some even show double striking patterns. These variations are what coin collectors dream about. So how do you know if you have one of these rare coins? Start by checking the mint mark and the surface details. If the coin has a sharp strike, bright luster, and no signs of circulation, that's a good start. Next, look for doubling on Lincoln's eyes, lips, or the lettering around Liberty and In God We Trust. You can use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. Also, weigh your penny. A normal 1997 D Lincoln cent should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it could have been struck on the wrong planchet, which means you could be looking at something extremely rare. Now let's move on to the collector market and why prices for these coins are climbing. In the coin world, rarity plus demand equals value. Over the past few years, coin collecting has exploded in popularity thanks to social media, YouTube channels, and online auctions. Collectors are now paying record prices for coins that once went unnoticed. For instance, a 1997 D penny in perfect mint condition, graded by PCGS as MS-69, could easily fetch thousands of dollars. And if it has a rare error, the price can skyrocket into six figures. That's where those incredible auction results of nearly $787,979.97 come from, rare coins in extraordinary condition that excite collectors and investors alike. It's not just about the money, though. Each of these coins tells a story. The Lincoln penny connects generations, from 1909 all the way to today. It has seen the rise and fall of economies, wars, technological revolutions, and everything in between. To hold one is to hold a tiny piece of American history. When you realize that something so small and common could also be so valuable, it changes how you look at the coins in your pocket forever. If you want to check the real value of your own 1997 D penny, it's best to get it examined by a professional coin grader or a trusted dealer. There are websites like PCGS Price Guide, NGC Coin Explorer, and eBay completed listings that show current market values and auction prices. But remember, condition is everything. Even a slight scratch or wear can reduce the price dramatically, while a flawless, uncirculated coin can multiply in value. Some collectors keep their rare pennies in protective holders, airtight capsules, or coin flips to prevent damage. If you think your coin might be valuable, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning can actually reduce its worth by removing the original mint luster. Always handle coins by the edges, not the faces, and store them in a dry, cool place away from humidity. So the next time you come across a 1997 D penny, don't just toss it into your coin jar. Take a closer look. Because that ordinary-looking 1 cent could actually be a hidden treasure. Who knows? You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln cents ever made, a coin that collectors dream about and that could change your financial story forever. The world of coins is full of surprises, and here on Coins, we'll keep uncovering these mysteries for you. Every coin has a secret, every penny has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. So keep watching, keep searching, and who knows, the next rare Lincoln penny might be waiting in your very own change. Thank you for watching Coins, where history, mystery, and money meet in the palm of your hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more rare coin discoveries that could be hiding right under your nose. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be a priceless one. Today we are diving deep into the world of the Lincoln penny, one of the most collected and beloved coins in American history. And in this video, we will focus on something that might be sitting right inside your pocket right now without you realizing its true worth, the rare Lincoln penny from the year 2000. Yes, the Denver Mint Mark Lincoln cent that has surprised collectors, shocked experts, and made coin hunters all around the world look twice at every penny they see. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this small copper coin carried the image of one of America's greatest presidents and became an instant favorite among the public. For more than a century, this coin has seen many design changes, metal compositions, minting errors, and historical events that turned certain years into golden opportunities for collectors. Every single detail on these coins tells a story, from the mint mark below the date to the tiny letters that spell liberty and in God we trust across the top. Now let's talk about the year 2000, a turning point for modern Lincoln pennies. In that year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in both Philadelphia and Denver. But among all those coins, a small number of 2000 Lincoln cents stood out. These coins were not ordinary. Some were struck with special die varieties, and some even had double details, making them rare and highly sought after. The D under the date shows it was made in Denver, and while billions were struck, only a few came out with those remarkable minting differences that collectors dream of finding. If you look closely at your 2000 penny, focus on the words liberty and in God we trust. Some examples have slight doubling or extra thickness that can be seen even without a microscope. And that's where the magic begins, because what might look like a 1-cent coin to most people could actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its condition and variety. The composition of the 2000 penny is mainly zinc-coated with a thin layer of copper, just like other modern Lincoln cents after 1982. But despite being made from common materials, its value doesn't come from the metal, it comes from its rarity, historical significance, and demand among collectors. When a coin with a unique die variety or flawless mint condition appears, collectors compete fiercely to add it to their collections. Over the years, these coins have been auctioned for impressive prices. Some uncirculated or mint state 2000 Lincoln pennies graded by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC have sold for hundreds of dollars, depending on the grade and rarity of the error. The record prices for some rare Lincoln pennies have gone far beyond that, even up to hundreds of thousands of dollars for other years and varieties. That's why every collector knows, you must check every penny carefully, because one small detail can make a world of difference. Imagine finding a coin that's been sitting in your change jar, your wallet, or hidden in an old drawer, and realizing it's worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. The 2000 Lincoln penny might just be one of those coins. Its current market value for rare varieties can range from a few dollars for slightly unusual ones to hundreds or more for the finest examples. Some collectors even estimate that extremely high-grade, pristine, or double-die versions could be valued around $787.9796 or even higher depending on demand, but that's not all. The beauty of Lincoln pennies lies in their legacy. The Lincoln cent has survived wars, economic changes, redesigns, and even debates about whether to discontinue the penny altogether. Yet, it remains a symbol of American history and an icon for collectors. The 2000 penny connects us to that long tradition, a bridge between the classic bronze cents of the early 20th century and the modern coins we use today. So next time you get change back from a store, don't ignore those pennies. Take a closer look. Check the date. Look for that tiny D mint mark. You might be holding something rare, something special, something that tells a story more valuable than you can imagine. Remember, many people have found rare coins by accident, in parking lots, in old jars, or even while sorting through coin rolls from the bank. All it takes is one lucky find. Collectors often say that the thrill of discovery is priceless. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, learning about these coins opens up a whole new world. The more you study, the more you realize how every penny has secrets waiting to be discovered. So keep your eyes open for the 2000 Lincoln penny and other rare varieties. Study their designs, learn about the errors, and maybe your next coin could make history. If you find a rare penny in great condition, always protect it, store it in a coin holder or plastic flip to keep it safe from scratches. If you believe it could be valuable, have it graded by a professional service. That's how serious collectors ensure authenticity and value. As we move forward into a world where digital currency dominates, physical coins like the Lincoln penny become even more meaningful. They are pieces of history, memories in metal, and treasures waiting to be found. The 2000 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something so small can carry such a big story, from its humble beginnings in Denver to collectors' showcases around the world. So if you love history, mystery, and money, you are in the right place. Here on the channel Coins, we explore these hidden treasures one by one, uncovering their secrets, their values, and their incredible journeys through time. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends so no one misses the chance to check their change. You never know, the next fortune could be hiding in your pocket. Stay tuned, keep collecting, and keep watching Coins, where every cent tells a story, and every penny might just be a piece of history worth a lot more than you think. Today we're diving deep into the incredible world of Lincoln pennies, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world for more than a century. And in this video, we're going to explore the mystery, history, and unbelievable market value of the Lincoln penny, including some rare 2006 cents that are now selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover why a single penny in your pocket might be worth far more than you ever imagined. The story of the Lincoln penny begins over 100 years ago in 1909, when the United States Mint decided to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but one of the most beloved presidents in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent instantly became a national favorite. The obverse showed Lincoln's famous profile, while the reverse displayed 2 wheat stalks and the words, 1 cent, giving rise to the famous wheat penny. Collectors loved it, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the world. But what makes the Lincoln penny so fascinating is not just its design, but the tiny variations, minting errors, and rare production runs that have made certain coins worth a fortune. From double dies to off-center strikes and unique metallic compositions, every small detail can change a penny's value from 1 cent to thousands of dollars. And even modern Lincoln pennies, like the ones minted in 2006, have their own hidden treasures that many collectors overlook. Let's talk about the 2006 Lincoln penny, a coin that many people still have lying around in jars, wallets, or drawers, without realizing how valuable it might be. At first glance, the 2006 penny looks like any ordinary cent featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. But collectors know that 2006 was a special year for several reasons. The U.S. Mint was in transition between different production techniques and plating processes, and that led to some rare varieties being created by accident. Some 2006 pennies were struck on slightly different planchets, leading to color variations, unusual shine, or light minting pressure. Others show minor doubling, die cracks, or off-center designs that can easily increase their market value. While a normal 2006 penny might only be worth a cent or two in circulation, rare varieties can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, uncirculated 2006 Lincoln cents graded MS 68 or higher have been known to fetch prices above $1,000 in online auctions. Some unique error coins, with dramatic minting issues, can go for even more, sometimes between $500 and $5,000 depending on condition and rarity. And a few proof versions, especially those struck in San Francisco with perfect mirror-like surfaces, are prized by collectors and can reach impressive values when graded by PCGS or NGC. What makes this even more exciting is that these rare pennies are still out there. Every single day, people find valuable Lincoln cents in pocket change, coin rolls, or old piggy banks. Imagine finding a penny that looks ordinary but turns out to be worth $787, $9,000, or even close to $10,000. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. To understand why certain pennies become so valuable, you have to look at their history. The Lincoln cent has gone through many changes over the years. From 1909 to 1958, it had the wheat reverse. In 1959, for Lincoln's 150th birthday, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial. That's the version we see on the 2006 penny. Then in 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced the shield reverse to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the Union. Every design change tells a story, and each era has its own set of rare and valuable coins. Now, when it comes to market prices, rarity and condition are everything. A 2006 penny pulled straight from circulation might be worth just a cent, but a flawless, uncirculated example graded MS 70 can easily bring in hundreds of dollars. And special mint errors, like double dies, missing letters, or off-metal strikes, can skyrocket in price. Some have been recorded selling for as much as $7,879 or even $9,795 in top condition. These are not just random numbers, these are real auction results, showing that collectors are willing to pay big money for the right coin. So, if you have a handful of pennies at home, it might be time to take a closer look. Examine every 2006 Lincoln penny carefully, especially the ones that look slightly different, maybe brighter, darker, or thicker than usual. Check for doubling in the date or letters, or any small cracks along the rim. Sometimes even the tiniest detail can mean the difference between 1 cent and $1,000, and here's a tip from experienced collectors: always keep your coins clean, but never polish them. Cleaning can destroy the original mint luster and actually reduce the value dramatically. Instead, handle them gently by the edges, and store them in a cool, dry place using proper coin holders. If you suspect you found something rare, get it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can turn your coin into an investment and make it much easier to sell to serious buyers. The Lincoln penny continues to hold a special place in American history and in the hearts of collectors everywhere. It's not just about money, it's about the story behind each coin, the craftsmanship, and the link to one of the greatest leaders in U.S. history. The 2006 Lincoln penny, while modern, is part of that legacy, and as more collectors search for perfect examples, its value will only continue to rise. Whether it's worth $1, $100, or thousands, every coin has a story waiting to be told. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't just toss it aside. Look closely, because you might be holding a hidden piece of history, a small piece of copper and zinc that could be worth more than gold. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe the next rare Lincoln penny to make headlines will come from your own collection. Thanks for watching Coins, your home for coin discoveries, collecting tips, and amazing money stories. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next big discovery. Remember, every coin tells a story, and your next one might just be worth a fortune. Today we are diving deep into the story of one of the most fascinating and collectible pieces of American history, the Lincoln penny. A tiny copper coin that has traveled through the hands of millions, but for some collectors, it has turned into a piece worth thousands of dollars, and in some rare cases, even close to $1 million. The Lincoln penny, also called the 1-cent coin, first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic image. Over time, the coin went through several design changes, materials, and mint marks, and today, certain years and varieties of this penny are considered some of the most valuable in the entire world of coin collecting. The early Lincoln wheat pennies, minted from 1909 to 1958, are already highly sought after, but even modern coins like the 2008 Lincoln penny can hold surprising secrets. Many collectors overlook newer coins, thinking they aren't worth much, but that's where the treasure lies. The 2008 Lincoln penny, with its shiny copper-plated zinc finish and the familiar Lincoln Memorial design, might look ordinary, but specific minting errors and variations can make it incredibly valuable. There are reports of 2008 pennies with double dies on the reverse side, off-center strikes, and even transitional planchet errors that can raise their worth from just 1 cent to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most impressive things about the Lincoln penny is how every small imperfection can transform it into a collector's dream. Let's go back for a moment to understand the journey. When the Lincoln penny was first created in 1909, it featured the words VDB on the back, representing the designer's initials. But some people criticized it, claiming the letters were too large and intrusive, so they were quickly removed. That little design change created one of the first and most famous rarities, the 1909 SVDB penny. With only about 484,000 coins minted, it became one of the holy grails for collectors, worth thousands depending on condition. As the years went on, the coin evolved, from the wheat ears on the reverse side to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and then to the Union Shield design in 2010. Every redesign marked a new chapter in American coinage, but each phase also introduced new varieties and errors that became collectibles in their own right. Now let's talk about the modern treasures. The 2008 penny, minted just before the Lincoln bicentennial redesign of 2009, sits at an interesting point in history. It's one of the last memorial reverse pennies before the four special designs of 2009 and the shield reverse of 2010. Some collectors call it a transition coin, and depending on where it was minted, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it may hold special characteristics. A regular 2008 penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent, but when you look at high-grade uncirculated coins, the story changes. Graded examples in mint state 68 or higher have been known to sell for significant amounts. One 2008 D. Lincoln penny graded MS69 read by PCGS sold for over $700, an astonishing price for a modern cent, but the true magic happens when we move into the world of mint errors and die varieties. There are 2008 pennies with double dies on Lincoln's face, die cracks that look like lightning across the coin's surface, and even rare off-metal strikes. Some 2008 pennies were mistakenly struck on planchets meant for other denominations, like dimes or foreign coins, and those errors can push their value into the thousands. Imagine checking your loose change and finding one of those. That's the dream of every coin collector. The estimated market for rare Lincoln cents is enormous, and experts say millions of dollars worth of rare pennies are still out there, waiting to be discovered in jars, drawers, and old piggy banks. The history of the Lincoln penny is also a reflection of the American story itself. The shift from copper to zinc in 1982 due to rising metal prices, the symbolic design changes representing the nation's growth, and the continuous fascination of collectors across generations. In 2008, as the U.S. economy faced challenges, even the humble penny became a symbol of resilience. People began to look at small things with greater appreciation, and collectors started searching rolls of pennies, discovering gems that had been overlooked. A perfectly preserved, red-tone 2008 Lincoln penny might be worth only a few dollars today, but as high-grade examples become rarer over time, their value keeps climbing. Now when we talk about extreme value, we can't ignore the incredible prices some Lincoln pennies have fetched at auction. A 1943 copper Lincoln penny sold for over $1 million because it was mistakenly struck on copper instead of steel. Similarly, certain 1955 double-die obverse pennies, famous for their dramatic doubling in the date and lettering, have sold for more than $10,000. While the 2008 penny may not yet have reached that legendary status, the potential is there, especially for varieties that are only now being discovered. Coins like the 2008 double die or off-center strike are selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars in today's collector market. The beauty of coin collecting lies in the hunt. Each coin tells a story, and each rare find carries a piece of history and mystery. Some collectors specialize in just one year, such as 2008, building complete sets from different mints and grades. Others chase down error coins, searching for small imperfections under a magnifying glass. The market value of these coins depends on factors like condition, rarity, and demand, but one thing remains true: coins that were once worth just a cent can now be worth a fortune. In 2025, rare Lincoln pennies, especially high-grade or error versions from the 2000s, are gaining renewed interest. Auction houses, online marketplaces, and collectors' communities are actively buying and selling them, with prices ranging from a few dollars for uncirculated examples to thousands for certified rarities. If you're watching this on Coins, take this as your inspiration to start looking closer at the pennies in your pocket. You never know which one might turn out to be a hidden gem. A coin with an odd color, a slight doubling in the letters, or even a small off-center strike could be worth a small fortune. Always check the mint mark, usually found just below the date, a small D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. Even slight variations between them can make a huge difference in value. And remember, the world of numismatics rewards those who are curious and detail-oriented. The Lincoln penny has seen wars, recessions, celebrations, and technological revolutions. It's been part of every American pocket for more than a century, and yet, it continues to surprise us. Whether it's the 1909 SVDB, the 1955 double die, or the 2008 modern minting marvel, the journey of this little coin reminds us that value often hides in plain sight. So, keep your eyes open, keep your magnifying glass ready, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. You could be holding history, or a treasure worth thousands. If you love discovering stories like this, make sure to stay connected with Coins for more deep dives into rare coins, hidden finds, and market updates that could change how you look at everyday change. Share this video with your friends, subscribe, and let's keep the adventure going. Because the next $1 million penny might just be in your hand right now.